This is the Hidden Why Podcast, episode 1058, my interview with Mike Bosworth, and we're discussing the relationship app, WeConcile. Enjoy. Hey Mike, welcome to the Hidden Why Podcast. Great to have you here today.
It's my pleasure. I've been looking forward to it.
And you're over in, we're north of Washington, D.C., somewhere.
No, north of Seattle, Washington, on the west coast of the United States, on an island.
On an island?
Yeah.
What do you do on that island?
Well,
is there much to do?
Actually, it's pretty good. It's 2.5 times the size of the island of Manhattan in New York City, with about 5,500 year-round residents. It gets about 15,000 in the summer because it's a tourist attraction. Just a lot of natural beauty. And
what's the island called?
Orcas Island. O-R-C-A-S.
O-R-C-A-S. Orcas Island. I'll look it up.
Yep. Yeah, look it up. You'll
so
see
got a lot of tourist people coming there, is it?
Yeah. It's just a lot of natural beauty and great restaurants and great weather, especially in the summer. And
nice and cool in winter there?
It's much warmer than the Midwest. Have you ever been to the Midwest of the United States in winter?
Never been, no.
No, well, I mean, I'm originally from Minnesota, and you guys are in Celsius, right? I don't understand Celsius. But Fahrenheit, it used to get 35, 40 below in the Midwest, which is crazy. You could go outside with a cup of coffee and throw it up like that and go, and just evap. It's so cold. Well, Orcas Island gets about in the mid 40s Fahrenheit in the winter, and the high 30s at night in the winter, which isn't down to freezing. So it's still above freezing.
Okay. So about 40, that's the coldest, is it?
Well, yeah, we'll get 4 to 5 days of snow a year.
Okay. Yeah. Nice. I like the sound of that. So it's about 4 degrees Celsius, 40 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay. All right.
So that's fair. It gives us a bit of an idea here. It doesn't get that cold here where I am. Sometimes maybe, but very rarely. No snow. But look, let's delve into the conversation today. Now, you and your partner, you've been together for 13 years. Is that right?
It's actually 14, close to 14 now. Yes, sir.
Close to 14. Okay, great. And now because you're from a sales marketing sort of background, aren't you?
Yes.
But your partner's developed this app called WeConcile.
She is a couples therapist.
She's a couples therapist. Okay. So she saw a niche or a need for an app to help couples with their relationships, I'm guessing, and develop this app called WeConcile.
Correct.
So anyone can jump on their phone and download it. Talk to us about how this came about. I guess obviously being a couples therapist, she must have had the idea there, but maybe
she had the idea of she knew there was a need for not only the couple she was servicing to have more knowledge about relationships, but most people can't afford the $180 to $220 an hour a couple therapists would charge a couple. Yeah. So she wanted to make relational education available to everybody. And if you think about it, even the best couples you've ever met still have their bumps and bruises on occasion, right?
Yeah.
And the mark of a really great relationship is how you put things back together when you have a little bump in the road.
Yeah, absolutely. Is it purely for couples in a relationship, or is this information that's good for all relationships, like relationships at work, relationships with family?
I believe that in the future, it's going to be used not only for family members like siblings or parents. That would be the first family use I could think of. But you're right, at work. And I think eventually the principles might even help the Israelis and the Palestinians get along better. Who knows?
Okay, good news. So talk to us about relationships for a little bit. Because you're right, all relationships go through their turmoil, some more than others perhaps. And right now, at least from my perspective here in Australia, there's a lot of people going through divorce, a lot more than ever.
Yeah.
And I think it may be even heightened during the COVID pandemic.
I think it was just because a lot of couples didn't sign up for that much togetherness that was forced upon them with COVID.
But all that stress through COVID too. It's not just that we have to be confined together, but everything that was going on, it affected your work, it affected your ability to be healthy, it affected, what food you could buy and eat. So it affected a lot of things that put more pressure on the family unit and the relationship couples, causing that turmoil. Yeah, so much needed app then, I suppose.
Yes, it's a shame we didn't have it out sooner. We're just launching the mobile app. The first version of WeConcile, Jennifer got written for a desktop, and it took so long to get it written that we realized that 85% of our market wants it on this, not their desktop.
Yeah, 100%.
That's
it. Everyone's going that way, isn't it?
Especially with the younger people. And one unique thing about WeConcile is I'll just show you the home screen real quick, but you'll see that red button. That red button is I need help. And Jennifer found that you can't really educate people when they're in their lizard brain and when they're stressed and worried and fighting. So the I need help comes up right now. What do you need help with? Well, something someone important did to me, something I did. I'm upset. I'm in a fight. I want to fight. So you pick one, I am or want to fight. And then it'll say, what happened? And it gives you a menu of things. We got caught in our cycle. I pushed someone important to me away. Somebody important to me pushed me away. I upset myself. So thought helpers, right? And people go, oh, that's what happened. And they pick that. And then it says continue. And it walks it. So right now you're feeling hurt, confused, sad, or lonely, or sad, panicked, and anxious, or angry and resentful.
Yeah. So it just continues to take you through. Yeah.
It helps you process your heightened emotions. And then once you calm down, then you can go into the topic list. And there's topics like, besides money and sex, it's family of origin and trauma and conflict. And so you pick a topic. And when you go into the topic, it depends on how you want to learn. You have a choice of nuggets for people with real short attention spans, or you can read stories about that topic that other couples are going through, or you can get a little deeper with lessons about that topic, or you can do exercises. And so you can get as deep as you want on that one topic. And the whole idea is to help people do self-analysis. Oh, well, the reason I reacted so badly and said all those shitty things to my partner was when I was growing up, my father was doing that to my mother, and I just kind of took it on, and I need to clean that up. And so it helps people go into a little self-understanding.
Self-assessment. Yeah.
And then it says, all right, do you want to reach out to your partner? Are you still too upset? And it helps people talk about their stuff.
Right.
And once you really understand why your partner, once you understand your partner's wounds, and there's a whole bunch of stuff that happened to your partner that you weren't there for before you ever got together. It could have been when they were 3 years old or 6 years old, or something that happened at school or something. But we all have our stuff. And when your stuff gets triggered and then your partner, instead of staying calm, reacts and gets, defensive, things start going downhill real quickly. So the whole idea is if you understand why your partner got triggered by something you said or whatever, you can then turn that acrimony into empathy.
Mm-hmm.
You can put a narrative around it in your own head so you can talk about it. And so what WeConcile is really trying to do is get people feeling safe enough to talk about their stuff with their partners and listen to them, and how to listen to your partner too. So it's wonderful stuff.
Do you find it's just launched, the app, so it's probably early days?
Well, it's launched on the Google store. Apple, we're still stuck in the Apple maze. It's hopefully in a week or two, but I mean, it's imminent. Yeah.
Who do you find most likely your audience? Is it going to be females or males with this app?
It's a great question. It's so far seems to be female led. Okay. And even when Jennifer was doing couples therapy, 80% of the time the female was leading that process, saying, you either going to come with me and see this lady or we're done. It's the females are driving it.
Yeah.
And
is that pretty typical in like relationships generally? Like females generally try and okay.
Well, Jennifer and I went to a 3-day couples workshop 12, 13 years ago. And it was for couples. And the leader said, all right, in each couple, typically you're either a hurricane or a turtle. Yeah. And she says, now you all know who you are. So we want all the turtles to go over this side of the room. And we want all the hurricanes to go over this side of the room. And about 80% of the turtles were male, and about 80% of the hurricanes were female.
What's the analogy here with hurricanes and turtles? I mean, is it just because turtles are complacent?
Pursuers and withdrawers. And in so many couples, one of them is pushing, you're not spending enough time with me, and and pushing. And the other one, because maybe in their family of origin, it wasn't safe when somebody got upset. They hide. They take their head in, and they're a turtle, and they just kind of go silent and wait for the storm to pass. Yeah, but
I reckon I'm the hurricane here in this relationship.
Yeah, but waiting for each storm to pass over 3 or 4 days or a week isn't a healthy way to have a relationship.
No, you got to address it. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Okay, so women more likely the ones using the app and instigating relationship therapy, I suppose.
However, the men love it because I don't know about in Australia, but here in the United States, I used to do a lot of sales training with alpha males, and they were raised by their fathers to be tough. Don't cry, don't whine, don't complain, whatever emotions you have, suck it up. Don't be a girl, right? And so men aren't very good at expressing, at verbalizing their own emotions and feelings. And that frustrates women because women are very good at communicating their emotions and feelings, right? Mm-hmm. And so the nice thing about WeConcile is for the men, it's got thought helpers. And those thought helpers, it's like when you hear a good mother with an upset 4-year-old, she'll say to her upset 4-year-old, use your words. Use your words. Don't throw a tantrum. Use your words. Use your words to tell me what's going on. Well, the use your words helps men, adult men. The thought helpers help adult men use their words because they don't have words for their feelings and emotions.
Okay. Yeah, and it probably gives them a bit of a comfort zone rather than being sort of more open and public about it. You can sort of check in just by yourself with your app and process it.
Absolutely. You wake up at 3 a.m. and you can't go back to sleep. You pick it up and you look up that last, you process that last crazy thing that went on and figure out what was going on for yourself. Yeah.
You talk about, a lot about relationship troubles being sort of something that's more an issue within that we're not dealing with rather than the issue with the partner. Can you elaborate on that a bit?
Well, we found when we were testing WeConcile with couples, and initially Jennifer had all the content on Microsoft Word documents. Before we got it automated, we wanted to test the process and the content and all that stuff. And God, I lost my train of thought. Ask me the question again, Lee.
So looking at where the relationship turmoil comes from, because often it's us in an argument or in an issue with our partner, we put blame on the partner rather than addressing with the issue that's actually within. And you made a point earlier on that, a lot of people will go through a divorce and then they'll find another partner, but because they haven't addressed that personal issue, they go through the same thing again and again and again.
They never fix their picker.
Yeah.
And the reason the divorce rate, I believe, is so high is that when we're young, and I mean late teens, early 20s, most people don't have very good pickers. For instance,
explain a picker.
Picker is a chooser.
Okay.
Your picker. We call it a picker problem because you're choosing the wrong partners.
Okay.
And so I use myself as an example. I had a terrible family of origin. I had a violent alcoholic father. I was the oldest of 5. My mother died of stress at 41. I had no self-esteem at 20 years old. And at 25 years old, I was going with a very hot woman who gave me the ultimatum. She said, marry me or lose me. And I caved and I married her. And then, once I had kids, I didn't want to not live with my kids. So I stayed married to her until my second natural born child was 18 and went off to school. But I read in Psychology Today 10 years ago, guess what the number one reason males under 25 get married for? This is young men.
Yeah. What is it?
It's to take that woman off the market so no other man can have her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's not a great reason to get married, Lee.
No, but from an evolutionary standpoint of view, it makes sense, doesn't it?
It makes sense, but that's why the divorce rate is so high, because we're picking the wrong people. So anyway, I had a violent alcoholic father. Guess who I married? A woman who had an alcoholic father. Yeah. You're kind of drawn to
what you know.
Yeah. Have you ever read Harville Hendricks? He wrote a book called Getting the Love You Want. And he said that most people, especially young people, are drawn to potential partners that help them with their unfinished business with their parents.
There you go.
So, and if your parents didn't have a great relationship, then any kids growing up in a household where the parents don't have a great relationship, those kids are going to have picker problems. Because you're their model for relationships.
Yeah, absolutely. That's interesting, isn't it? And I don't know if you can avoid that, but like on that point, young people getting married too, to take them off the market, there's a lot of people too delaying, and maybe it's because they're maybe not good at picking at all, or be fussy pickers, and getting married later in life as well, and probably then at that later stage in life, just go for the next best offer.
Well, it seems the statistics we've seen is if you get married in your 30s instead of your 20s, your odds of making it are way higher.
Yeah, right. If you get married in your 20s.
30s instead of your 20s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right. That's interesting.
And
I look at my parents and my partner's parents, and they're these long relationships, and ups and downs throughout those relationships, I'm sure, but they seem to just stick through it regardless of the turmoil and the challenge that goes on. Whereas these days, I feel, and I could be wrong, I understand if it's not a healthy relationship, then maybe you shouldn't stay in it. But I think a lot of people are just saying, okay, well, it's not working, so I'm just going to leave, rather than trying to work through it. We're taking the easy route.
Well, or they don't really have hope that they can fix it.
But, you look at your parents, like my parents lived through it, and they could have ended it a couple of times probably. Did they have hope that they could fix it, or they just pushed through because that's what you did?
Well, you're right. And there's a lot of religious pressure too. If you're in a lot, like Catholics don't condone divorce, Mormons don't condone divorce. A lot of religions are really judgmental about people who get divorces.
Yeah, there's a lot of that cultural stuff. I get that.
Yeah.
Same with,
remember the Queen of England, Elizabeth, she passed, but she didn't approve of any of those divorces. She ended up having to put up with them, but she wasn't happy about it.
No, fair enough. And that's culturally, I get that, but I feel that even that now, even religion, certain religions anyway, are becoming more comfortable with it and accepting of it because it's more normal now.
Well, the funniest thing is, I'm a recovering Catholic. I don't know what religion you were raised in, but if you think about it, if you're a regular, middle-class Catholic couple and you're having troubles, who do they go to for help?
Yeah.
The celibate priest who doesn't know anything about living with a woman.
Yeah. It doesn't make much sense, does it?
No, it doesn't.
No. So what can you suggest for relationships out there? Obviously getting the app and having a look there, but if you are going through a relationship struggle right now in your life, and this is for everyone out there, what are the first couple of steps that we should be looking at taking, whether it's male or female?
Well, the real question is how open and vulnerable and honest can you be with your partner? Because if you can't, for me, my ex was a right fighter. She fought about everything. And so I ended up being a turtle. But all those times for 26 years, where I just decided it's easy just to shut up and let her have her way than to try and, reason with her. And so my resentment built and built and built and built over time. And a lot of times Jennifer said that when a couple would first come to her, they were already too far gone to help because one of them had so much resentment. That resentment is kind of like the cancer of relationships.
Yeah.
And you have resentment when you don't feel safe to communicate your needs to your partner.
Right.
So it's really relational trust, relational safety, and then figuring out a way where. Another thing Jennifer said that was really interesting. We all, no matter how great your parents were, everybody has emotional wounds as adults.
Yeah.
All of us. Maybe you got it in boarding school. Maybe you got it on the rugby team. Maybe you got it from your family of origin. Maybe you got bullied in middle school. But we all have emotional wounds, as she calls it. And she says, when you're in a partnership, when the wounds collide, that's where the trouble starts. Because when you're in a wounded state, when you're feeling anxious and stuff, it's hard for your adult brain to think when your emotions are up. And when those wounds collide, that's where the trouble starts. And so one of the things WeConcile is trying to help us all do is understand our own wounds so we can explain to our partner why we've reacted so badly about certain things that we probably shouldn't have. Yeah. And as soon as you can talk to your partner and own your own shit and talk about, I just learned, why I react this way when this happens, then you get empathy instead of acrimony.
So you got to work on those wounds.
Yeah.
Together?
How do you mean together?
Well, like my wounds, my partner understanding those and then working through them together would be ideal, I'm imagining.
Oh, yeah. But you first have to be able to use a thought helper if you're a male and put a story around your own wounds that you can then tell your partner.
Yeah.
And then and that helps you stay out of your fight or flight brain, your lizard brain.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, mate, I wish you and Jennifer, is it? All the best with the launch or the continued launch of the app. And I will stick a link in the show notes, guys, so you can check it out there, WeConcile and Mike Bosworth. Is there any other ways or directions people can reach out to you guys?
Well, our email addresses are mike@weconcile.com and jennifer@weconcile.com. So those are pretty easy. But if you go on YouTube and put in WeConcile, Jennifer has recorded a bunch of 60 to 90 second short videos on relational subjects that are really, really wonderful.
WeConcile. Oh, yeah. I got them, yeah.
Yeah, and you should be able to see some topics. Like one of the ones she did recently was, are you married to a man baby? And all her, a lot of women responded to that one. Yeah, I'm married to a man baby.
All right. That'll get the women's clicking, won't it?
That'll get the hurricanes riled up.
Too. Well, been a pleasure to have you today, Mike. I appreciate your time and coming on and sharing. Guys, check it out at hiddenwire.com. And Mike, have a fantastic day, afternoon, evening.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Guys, until next time, peace, passion, and purpose. See you soon. Thanks, guys, for listening to this episode. I hope you enjoyed what you heard. I hope you love what you're hearing. If you like this episode, guys, or any of the episodes that you're listening to here at The Hidden Why, please do me a favor by sharing it. You can share it with your families. You can share it with your loved ones. You can do that by using your favorite social media channels, using the icons on the platform that you're listening to The Hidden Why podcast. Also, guys, if you're a fan of the show, please connect with me. Connect with me at thehiddenwhy.com. I love to hear from you. I love to converse with the people that listen to this show to find out what they enjoy, what they don't enjoy, and perhaps if they have any questions or feedback for the show as well. You can stay up to date with all that I'm releasing here, guys. I do a solo show every Monday, a 3-minute thought every Thursday. I do 2 interviews a week on a Wednesday and a Saturday, and a book review every Friday. You can stay up to date with all that by subscribing to my newsletter at thehiddenwhy.com. Just enter your email address there, and also subscribing to the podcast on the platform that you choose to listen to your podcasts. You can also support the show, guys, by using the Amazon links at thehiddenwhy.com. So if you like books, you can get all the books that I review there, and anything else really that you like to purchase through Amazon. So use that link, it helps support the show. And we've also got a deal with Audible, guys. Audible is a fantastic way to listen to all your favorite books. We've got a deal with them so you can get 2 free books when you subscribe subscribe to a 30-day free trial. So check that out again at thehiddenwhy.com. Guys, that's it from me. You know what to do. Go out there, breathe more passion into every single moment. Do everything with greater purpose, and in doing so you will discover your hidden why. This is The Hidden Why. My name is Lee Martinuzzi. Until next time, peace, passion, and purpose. See you soon.